Welcome to my channel. My name is Priska, and if you enjoy cultivating your personal style, then you're going to love it here. In today's video, I want to show you my 20 best mid-price pieces of clothing, but not in an attempt to sell you clothes. Instead, I want to show you how I evaluate the value and the price of a piece before purchasing it. While I make my case that mid-price clothes are the best value to me, I know everyone's budget and lifestyle needs are different, but I think there's a vital perspective missing that I can share with you. The value of a piece of clothing isn't what you read on the price tag. The way I think of value is the cost divided by the number of wears. So for an everyday wardrobe like yours and mine, the more wearable a clothing piece, the more value it has. That's the most complex math in this video, so let's get into the fun stuff of looking at my mid-price pieces, including clothing, bags, jewelry, and shoes. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos helping you to dress stylishly and live intentionally. This is a wrap dress from the brand Quince, and I wear this dress so much because it's such a practical piece for me. It's easy, flattering, and breathable, and it's at a smart price point. Now the black dress is 2 years old, and I no longer recommend this exact piece, but only because I found a better quality at a lower price from Quince. I have a whole video dedicated to comparing these two nearly identical pieces, but the consensus in the comments was clear. The navy one is more flattering and better quality. It's available to shop in several colors, so I'll link this piece along with any others that are still available down below in the description box for you to shop. This puff sleeve midi dress is so lovely. I always get compliments when I wear it, and I adored it so much I bought it in another color. Now, it wasn't until I assembled the list of clothing pieces for this video that I realized I've purchased several of these pieces multiple times in various colors. When I find something that's flattering and well made at a worthwhile price, apparently I get it in 2 or more colors. Now this next piece is the quintessential summer dress to me. I dressed it up recently for my baby shower, and I've also been wearing it around my house as loungewear. To me, it's just as comfortable, if not more. I really don't like waistbands. Even before I was pregnant, I didn't really like sitting down with the waistband around my waist, so dresses it is. In this dress, I purchased both the blue and green patterns, both of which are from Hill House Home. These are mid-price dresses, but I also saw the same style on Quince's website for half the price. I'll link both price points down below in the description box. For the ones I own, it's still worth the cost to buy the more expensive version because I'll wear them so much, and I'm not saying that like, you know, when you're out shopping and your friend says,
"Oh, I'll just wear these stilettos so much."
And you're like, okay. But these dresses I wear weekly because they're so comfy and breathable in this heat, and obviously very beautiful. This is a cinched waist t-shirt dress in 100% organic cotton that's as comfortable as it is flattering. Now a t-shirt dress is very valuable in your closet if you want to dress casually but still look very put together. It's an easy one and done piece. And every brand at the mall makes this type of piece, so why would you pay for the mid-price point version when there's a cheaper alternative? I used to have a t-shirt dress from H&M to compare it to, but after exactly one wear and wash, the seams twisted and it just looked really sloppy. Now, I'm not someone who just immediately throws things away. A lot of times I'm like, oh, I paid good money for that. I'm gonna still try to wear it. So I did end up getting a few more wears out of it. It just didn't look good while I was wearing it. So while the cost of that piece was, I think, around $30, it only looked good once, making the cost per wear $30. That's definitely not worth it to me. Honestly, I don't know exactly why two dresses that are both labeled 100% cotton will wash and wear so differently, but that's why I lean on a brand's quality. This red pattern dress was a collaboration between two of my favorite mid-price brands, Farm Rio and Cezanne, and before I took the tags off, I made sure to evaluate the quality and how flattering it was on my body. So that's a hot tip for you. Don't be afraid to return a clothing piece if it doesn't live up to your expectations based on the price. This blue embroidered dress from Free People has an ironic story to it. I tried it on in store a few years ago and adored it, but I didn't know if Free People was a quality brand. So when I looked at the price tag, I thought, it's a little steep for what I want to pay, considering the risk it only looks good on the first wear. Now clearly that H&M dress experience scarred me and I need therapy. Anyway, a year later, my very stylish friend and I were at a thrift shop, which is a place that I'm notoriously bad at shopping at, and she found this exact dress for me at a fraction of the price. So I scooped it up, and after dozens of wears and washes, I can say I would pay full price for this one. So this is an example of when the value of the dress initially was unclear to me, but it worked in my favor this time. In the last few years, I've owned 2 pairs of designer jeans that were like $150 to $200 each. And honestly, the quality just didn't last as long as I expected them to based on that price point. The problem is the stretch content. Now, I am particularly careful about how I care for my clothes, how I wash them and hang dry them. But even so, the stretch fibers would get all stretched out and funky looking after a couple of years. So that was just disappointing, but the other problem is that I change styles of jeans that I like so frequently that paying a lot for this item doesn't really make too much sense for me. But I also know that I've tried like Target jeans and they just do that thing that I want jeans to do. So I found these cropped flare jeans from Mango at a decent price point and I was super happy. After a year of owning this black pair, I purchased a light wash pair, and I'm a big fan of both of these pairs of jeans, and they're the right price and wearability to equate to a good value in my wardrobe. This is one of my more expensive tops, but oh so worth it. What makes it special to me is that embroidered lace collar detail. I typically don't wear button-up shirts because they look a little masculine on me and I prefer more feminine styles, but the lace detail really adds a nice softness and beauty to a very versatile piece. In the warm months, I'll pair it with a mini skirt or the aforementioned cropped jeans, and in the cooler months, I'll layer it under a sweater for some added color and detail to an otherwise plain outfit. The lesson from these tops is that versatility throughout seasons allows for more times wearing the piece, which lowers the cost per wear, lower than a piece you can only wear for only 1 or 2 seasons of the year. Leggings are probably not an obvious choice for this list, but these Lululemon Align pants, gosh, I think I have 3 pairs of these. The cost per wear of these pants can only be measured in cents, not dollars. So yeah, they're pricey at $100-ish, but I bought 3 pairs and I wear them 3 times a week to the gym. When it comes to athletic leggings, while you can evaluate cost per wear, I think it's also important to evaluate how long they'll retain their original shape. Or in simpler terms, through how many wears will they still look good on you? The thing I appreciate about these leggings is I've been shopping at Lululemon for 10 years and they've kept their original look for just as long. In fact, the only reason I've donated older pairs is because I changed my style preference from mid-rise to high-rise and I grew a size or 2. Other than that, after hundreds of wears, they still look just as good as the day I bought them. Now, do you need Lululemon leggings? Of course not. But are they valuable to you? Well, it depends on how much you're wearing them and what you're doing in them. If I was doing yard work, I would not need Lululemon leggings, but I do appreciate the superior performance of them and how they've lasted throughout the years looking exactly the same. So for going to the gym, I would prefer to have 1 pair of Lululemon leggings that cost $100 instead of 4 pairs of $25 leggings that don't really work well as performance wear. But that's based on my budget and lifestyle needs, so hopefully I've given you enough information to consider the value for these pieces yourself. I couldn't end without one last dress on the list, but it's one that I wear a few times each month. It's just the cutest athleisure wear possible, and I'm a big fan. Now, to compare it, I recently also purchased a cheap exercise dress from Old Navy to fit my pregnant belly, and I can see the differences in quality of fabric and construction. The cheaper one is fine, but it's definitely not going to last as many wears as the more expensive one. The first bag I want to show you is my Pelen Numera Neuf. I adore this bag. Y'all adore this bag. Strangers on the street adore this bag. From the exquisite leather to the eclectic shape, it's truly an inspired piece. I think I bought this about 3 years ago and I've probably worn it a few hundred times. However, when I bought it, the brand was still quite small and the price was $440 compared to today's inflation rate of $610. That's the tricky thing about considering the value of a piece of clothing. I start by thinking about how much I'm actually going to wear it, but also the base price has to be within reason for my current income bracket, even if it's on sale. That's something that used to get me all the time: sales. I've been in consumer debt twice as a young adult and I never want to be there again. So when I'm making a big purchase, I think, will I actually wear this piece? And I wonder, am I going to be happy that I made this purchase a year from now? Otherwise, you can overspend on a whole bunch of clutter that doesn't last and your enjoyment of that stuff runs out before the credit card bill comes due. That's such a yucky feeling, so I encourage you to be highly intentional about evaluating what's really valuable in your wardrobe before purchasing. This bag and I just recently celebrated our 1-year anniversary together, and I'm more in love with it today than I was back then. I know my regular subscribers have listened to me gush about this bag way too much, so I'll keep it brief. The reason this Tory Burch shoulder bag has been such a valuable purchase for me is that, number one, stylistically, the rich details elevate my simple dress and sandals outfits. Number two, I wear it in all seasons. And number three, it's the perfect size for my daily needs. So while the Palin Numero 9 bag taught me to consider the value of a mid-priced handbag, this Tory Burch bag taught me to consider the style value. Essentially, how versatile is it and how much will it elevate my current wardrobe? The less I wear a piece, the less I'm inclined to spend on it. I want the pieces that I wear repeatedly to be the priciest things in my wardrobe. So first we had a wedding and now we have a funeral. This hat, unfortunately, I just recently kind of ruined it. I haven't come to terms. I'm still in denial. I'm trying to figure out how to repair it. But I was wearing it on a walk on the beach on a very windy day. I think there was a tropical storm brewing in the ocean, but I'm Floridian, so it's just another Tuesday. So I'm wearing this hat. The wind caught it, flung it into the ocean, and it was soaked. So I took it home, let it air dry, and somehow it still shrunk. So it's a little bit too small for my head now. If you see me wear it, it's because I figured out how to repair it. Otherwise, I appreciate your thoughts and condolences over my beloved fedora. Anyway, I spent $120 on it 2 years ago and wore it a ton. Does that make it a waste? Well, cost per wear was still low. But yeah, when I replaced my beach walking hat, I chose a cheap paper crochet hat, which 1, allows for wind to pass through, and 2, won't make me sad if it's ruined. Okay, I was typically the kind of person who would prefer to have $10 sunglasses. That way, if I dropped them, scratched them, sat on them, misplaced them, there would be no lost tears. But I just recently got this pair after searching for months for the right height of cat eye sunglasses for my face shape. So while mid-price sunglasses might not be something that everyone's interested in, I'm glad that I converted to these pair of sunglasses. They have been truly great quality for the price point. I recently got this necklace as an alternative to my real gold necklace. This is a gold vermeil piece, and let me explain what that means. So cheap jewelry is gold plated. It's generally some kind of base metal like brass or copper, and sometimes it has nickel in it, which I'm personally allergic to. You're not supposed to get it wet, which is why it tarnishes with sweat and humidity. And it can turn your skin different colors. But I still buy some cheap jewelry because I think it's a good price point for costume jewelry that I'm not going to get a lot of wear out of, and I'm only going to wear for a few hours for special occasions. Then there's solid gold jewelry, which is the most expensive. Solid gold is 24 karat, but with some designer pieces, you're also going to see 22 karat, 20 karat, 18 karat are pretty common. The lower that number, the less pure gold that is in it, but gold is very soft. So my wedding ring, for example, is 18 karat or 14 karat. Can't quite remember, but it makes it more durable than solid gold would be. And lastly, mid-price jewelry is gold for my very, very generally speaking. Sometimes you'll have cheap jewelry with a mid-price tag because the brand is more expensive, so don't fall for that. But I have a number of pieces of gold vermeil that have lasted me a number of years, and I really like the quality and price point of it. Gold vermeil uses a base of sterling silver and then a layer of either 18 karat or 24 karat gold that is 5 times thicker than the cheap jewelry that's gold plated. This gives the benefit of a lower price along with durability. And to me, it's the best for fashionable jewelry that you plan on wearing every day. I've had these earrings for 2.5 years and they're the ones I wear the most, let's say like 4 times a week. That's 500-ish wears for around $100-ish, and they look as pretty as the day I bought them. Here's some other Missima pieces I have, but these two are my daily wear, so that's what makes them the best mid-price value in my closet. This is another gold vermeil piece, but it's from an indie jewelry brand, Pamela Card, which is based in Vancouver. This one is 24 karat gold vermeil, and I bought it 3 years ago. I get the most compliments on this necklace in real life. It's just eye-catching. The design is inspired by a Rococo palace in Portugal, and that's the kind of story you only get from indie brands. It stirred inspiration for me too, and that's why I've enjoyed wearing it for so many years. Y'all ask about this necklace a lot, and unfortunately I can't link it for you. I bought it from an indie jewelry maker at a small boutique in town, but if you're looking for specific pieces like this, my best recommendation is Etsy. Just read the reviews and look at customer photos before purchasing, or shop your local artsy boutiques and ask who makes these pieces. You'd be surprised how many artists are waiting to be discovered in your own hometown. Oftentimes, a wedding ring is the most expensive jewelry purchase of your life, and in today's social media comparison culture, it can be easy to think the bigger and pricier the better, but realistically, you don't want something that screams, "rob me," or "I'm just keeping up with the Joneses, but I'm in debt up to my eyeballs." So when I was choosing my wedding ring, not only was I considering stylistically, is it something that I enjoy, and it's very unique, but also within my budget, is it reasonable? I've had this ring for 8 years and I'm very satisfied with the beauty and quality. So especially if you're shopping for a forever piece like a wedding ring, I recommend you try on a bunch of different styles and choose what you're really drawn to, not what's trending on social media this year. Before pregnancy, these were my most worn shoes. I don't typically wear a lot of neutrals, but I do like neutral shoes during the warmer months because my outfits are usually quite bright and detailed. These shoes fade into the background, so my dresses are the center of attention. On top of that, these 2.5-inch heels are the perfect mix of added height and walkability. And I really like how the color is close enough to my skin color to elongate my legs. That's an important tip for you. If you're shopping for sandals and you want to lengthen the look of your legs, then choose a sandal color that's similar to your skin color. Now that I'm pregnant, I've worn these flat sandals almost every day this year. They're just the most useful sandals I have in my wardrobe. When I went out of town recently on a 3-day trip, I packed only these and they worked for all occasions. And they're obviously very easy to walk in. Now, if you haven't seen my story on how finding my style changed my life, then I recommend you watch that one next. I'll see you next week with a brand new video. Until then, take care.